Well, a new massacre has apparently taken place in Syria, in a small village near the city of Hama. So far, reports are painting a very contrasting picture, but the episode appears to be eerily similar to those surrounding the bloody slaughter in the town of Hula last month. Let's now cross to RT's Maria Fanoshina, who's in Damascus for us. Maria, what can you tell us about this incident?
Well, Kerry, there is even more confusion about this latest massacre here in Syria than all of the previous ones, and a lot of the details of alleged witness accounts and video just don't match. So far, the most extreme death toll given stands at almost 100 dead, and this is the figure that's been picked up very quick by most of the international media immediately after it emerged. Now, the opposition's claim is that government forces shelled two peaceful farming villages in central Syria, not far from the city of Hama, and after that, allegedly pro-Assad militants went in and they tied people up, they shot, they stabbed and burned them in an orgy of violence. And to support that, the opposition posted a number of videos, allegedly from this village, showing dead bodies. But however, these videos contain the bodies that by all appearances are 2 decades to have died yesterday, raising many questions on the credibility and the truth of the opposition's claims and just where these bodies came from. On the other hand, the Syrian government has a completely different take on what happened in Syria. They say they got a call from local residents asking for help after militants took over the village. The army has been stationed in this area. They've been reporting beforehand that they are preparing for an anti-terrorist operation. So after that call, they immediately launched this operation, and we are receiving right now official reports from official sources in Hama that after the army went in, they discovered 9 bodies of civilians, and following the clashes that occurred after that, 2 officers have been killed and 5 others have been injured. So as you can see, both sides are pointing the finger at each other, while witnesses reports just contradict each other about who was responsible. And without a credible investigation right now, it's too early and just simply impossible to establish who was behind this massacre in Syria. Back to you, Kerry.
Maria, how is this going to bode for Syria then? It's clearly it isn't going to help the peace process.
Yes, what's striking here in this story is, of course, the timing of this so-called massacre coming as Kofi Annan briefs the UN Security Council on Syria today. And there are a lot of similarities in this story with Hula massacre last month that happened exactly on the eve of Kofi Annan's arrival to Syria for talks with Bashar al-Assad. Back then, the initial media reaction that simply took the rebels side and their claims as true actually jeopardized the 6-point peace plan, and the Free Syrian Army, the biggest and the most well-armed rebel group in the region, used this massacre to withdraw from the internationally approved ceasefire and to resume the military operation against the government forces. And also there are many questions on what possibly Assad can gain from being behind these massacres, something that the rebels claiming. He knows very well that it can and will be definitely used against him by fractions and nations that want him out and that back rebels. So we know that just yesterday in Istanbul there was a meeting of the nations that back the rebels, and it's reported that they, headed by the US Security Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, have come with a so-called plan of post-Assad Syria. So what we are seeing now is a lot of interference into Syria's internal affairs, and knowing how Hula massacre was used against Assad, we can see even more interference into Syria's affairs right now, as this latest massacre also can be used against Assad as justification for this kind of international interference. And of course, all this all this contradiction has given rise to view that the rebels themselves may be framing Assad, knowing that they've got media support, and eventually Assad would be held responsible for what happened. Back to you.
Okay, RT correspondent Mira Finoshna, thanks for that for now.